oriole, Ticker's leaf warblers, Ticker's flower pecker, green munia, white backed munia, and in addition to that, these are some exotic and introduced fish species which were introduced into Yamuna River, and these are common carp, tilapia, silver carp. So these introduced species have wiped out maximum of the native species of fish from the Yamuna River. Now, other example of the degradation of the Delhi NCR ecosystem is urbanization. So urbanization is other example of degradation of healthy ecosystem. And here is example of Noida. So this red area is cultivation area. You can see in 2000, and you can compare these two picture of 2000 and 2013. The red area decreased significantly from 2000 to 2013. Earlier, maximum area in the Noida was cultivated lands. Now this is very small area which is now cultivated, and this yellow color which indicates the built up area. So in 2000 there is very small patches of this built up area. Now this Noida is full of this built up area. Another example is Delhi. So there are four pictures of Delhi, right from 1977 to one is from 1997, 1993, 2006, and 2014. You can see this yellow patches, yellow color in this map. This is agricultural land in Delhi in 2000, in 1977, and this red color is built up area in 1997. It gradually decreased in 1993, then 2006, and in 2014, the Delhi is full of this built up area. The red color is built up area, and there is shrinkage in the agricultural land and forest land. Other example of the Gurgaon, this very small patch, red patch, is Gurgaon city in 1995. This patch gradually increased in 2001, it increased in 2008, and it increased in 2015. So you can compare the picture of, and this is the small scale. In the small scale, even 1995 to 2015, within 20 years, how this built up area increased in the Gurgaon region, Gurgaon city. Now, threats to the ecosystem. There are different threats to ecosystem. First is the destruction of habitat, and destruction is mainly there are the man-made anthropogenic destruction of habitats. There is agricultural expansion, mining activities, the establishment of industries, highway construction, dam building activities. These all are the destruction activities and which lead adverse impacts on our habitat, and it reduces our habitat significantly. Second threats to biodiversity and ecosystem is hunting. Although the hunting in Delhi region is not relevant for Delhi region, hunting is not relevant for Delhi region, but in northeastern area of India, hunting is predominant, and hunting is always done for the skin, tusk, antlers, fur, meat, and some pharmaceuticals uses. This hunting is also a major threat to our biodiversity and ecosystem. Third is introduction of invasive species. Already we have discussed it, how invasive species led very adverse impacts on our native biodiversity in Delhi region. One example is this kikar plant species, which was introduced in Delhi, and how this plant species wiped out native species from the Delhi region. So introduction is another threat to our ecosystem. Pollution, both all types of pollution are threats to ecosystem. Air pollution, water pollution. You can see in Yamuna River, the condition of Yamuna River, how pollution degrades Yamuna River badly. Deforestation is another threat, and deforestation always is done for the commercial purpose, for for the use of human beings. Climate change is a natural phenomenon. So climate change is being considered as one of the major threats to our ecosystem and biodiversity, and process of the bioaccumulation is also considered as threats to the biodiversity. Now, ecosystem conservation. There are some practices that we should follow for the ecosystem conservation. One is the conservation of indigenous and native genetic diversity and species diversity. So we should always increase for the native biodiversity. If we are going to plant in some areas, we should take care of that, the nature of the species, whether it is indigenous or whether it is exotic species or कोई बाहर की species तो नहीं है. So if we are going to plant, we should take care and we should always encourage the plantation of native species. We should identify some biodiversity rich area and we should conserve them. If the area is larger, then it can be converted into the protected areas like national parks, sanctuaries, biosphere reserve. Third is preserving ecosystems such as mangroves and coral reefs. These are very important types of the habitats, and we should conserve such vulnerable types of the habitats. Taking up special projects such as Project Tigers, when we are going to target individual species like tiger, lions, snow leopard. So we named after them Project Tigers, Gir Lion Project, Snow Leopard, projects like that. Establishing zoos, aquaria, botanical gardens, especially conserving the threatened species, are the practices of the biodiversity conservation and ecosystem conservation. So there are two practices of conservation. One is the in situ conservation. When we conserve species within their natural habitat, we call it in situ conservation. And the important example of in situ conservation are biosphere reserves, like the Nanda Devi Biosphere Reserves, Namnapa Biosphere Reserve. National parks, there are more than 250 national parks in India, like Gir Lion National Parks, Kanha National Parks, Ranthambore National Park. More than 400 sanctuaries are in Delhi, are in India for the conservation, for the in situ conservation and forest reserve. In addition to that, there are the second practice of the conservation of biodiversity is ex situ conservation. When we conserve the species out of their natural habitats, we call it ex situ conservation. An example of ex situ conservation are zoological parks, botanical gardens, jump grass banks, seed banks, biodiversity parks like in Delhi, and tissue culture. Individual's approach, what should be an approach of an individual, like students, an individual man, and everybody in our society. So already we have, we talk about the use of 4 R's. So always reduce, eliminate the use of household chemicals and pesticides, reduce the amount of waste you produce, recycle as much waste as you can, reduce your carbon footprints, choose food that are locally grown and grown sustainably, and join conservation programs and eco clubs. These are individuals' approach that we can follow. An individual can follow these approaches. The conservation practices in Delhi NCR ecosystem. So in situ conservation in Delhi, Asola Bhati Sanctuary is here. Chawla Nazafgarh Drain City Forest is one of the example of in situ conservation. Nazafgarh Drain Bird Sanctuaries, Okla Bird Sanctuaries, Surajpur Wetland Reservoir Forest area in Gautam Buddha Nagar, Delhi regions are example of in situ conservation. The example of ex situ conservation in Delhi are National Zoological Parks, Yamuna Biodiversity Park, which is of 457 acres, Aravali Biodiversity Park, which is 692 acres land, and Delhi University is running these parks, and botanical gardens in Noida. These are example of ex situ conservation. So there are some good practices, and we should follow these good practices. Conservation of all threatened, endemic, economical, medicinal plant species, identification and safeguard measures for critical habitats, protection of migratory habitats and corridors, sustainable use of the natural resources, regulation of international trade in wildlife, prevention of poaching and hunting, reduction in pollution levels, and awareness program. So there is an exercise for students. You can see this form here, and you can take an exercise in your surrounding area. So you should mention your names of student, address, email, phone, and select any area. It may be a forest area, it may be an water body, it may be just your backyard, like that. So you can record some plants and animal species of that area. What are the animal species in that area? You should name there. What are the plant species in that area? You should name here. Birds species. You can take only the common names. You can provide common and local names. And if you are interested to know the scientific names of those species, so we can tell you the scientific name of those species. Similarly, what are the tree species there? Herbs and shrub species are there. If you are taking a water body for your exercise, record the animal species, aquatic animals like fish, aquatic plant species in that area, and you can submit this exercise to this project to your school. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
What are the tree species there? Herbs and shrub species are there. If you are taking a water body for the
भट्ट सर एक बार उसके बारे में बता दीजिए, जो फॉर्म है क्या क्या बच्चों को वर्क करना है सर्वे के लिए।
हाँ, मैंने बताया इनको, दिस इज अ फॉर्म, स्टूडेंट कैन सी दिस फॉर्म हियर इन द स्क्रीन. So there is a title of the project. You have to take an exercise. This is very
इनको
small
PDF will send the school PDF form इसका.
हाँ. So this is a small exercise that already, because one of the objective of this project is every students, every man of the society should be an innovator. Should be an innovator. So you have to innovate about the species and plant species, animal species in your surroundings only. No need to go far away from your home. Just in your surroundings. So this is a form. You have to perform an exercise. For example, if you take a small area of forest area, so please record the plant species in that area, animal species, including the insects, birds, and other animal species. So you have to name those species. You can take a common name only. The scientific name we will tell you. What are the scientific name of those species? And if you are taking a water body for your exercise, so please select a small water bodies and record the name of the animals in that water bodies, like fish and plant species in the surrounding of that water bodies. So this is a very small exercise. You have to perform this exercise.
Participating in the photograph also, this is a very good exercise.
Yeah.
It was really nice of you, sir, to explain everything so beautifully. And I would like to thank you, thank on behalf of all the students as well as all the participants, whosoever is here. I'm sure children are going to participate in this particular exercise that you explained. And the entire session today was very interesting. Children learned a lot and they could correlate with their curriculum. I should say it was really very informative, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Kakru sir, you wanted to play a video?
You have a video, no? Can you play it? You can share the screen because I am using mobile, so I don't have immediately with.
Imtiaz sir can do this, sir.
Imtiaz, just let me ask you. Imtiaz, वो
मैम
वीडियो है ना तेरे पास?
सर
वीडियो तो है, बट स्पीकर लगाने पड़ेंगे। मैम आपके पास?
सर ऐसा है ना कि मेरे पास डाउनलोडेड है, मेरे पास वीडियो डाउनलोडेड है, मैं बच्चों के साथ शेयर कर लूंगी, उनको दिखा दूंगी। ठीक है सर? ओके, even the exhibition I will share with that.
Share and take 1 or 2 photographs and send it across to us as and when.
I will do it on Teams. मैं Teams पे share करके उनको दिखा दूंगी। ठीक है सर? Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And all the kids, thank you so much for joining, beta.
Thank you, Bhatt sir. Let's close the.
Thank you, Kakur sir. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, students.
Thank you, sir.